You may think that putting on a play is simply a script, a stage, and actors, but our guest will expose the real side of theater, the challenges that it takes to put on a stage play.
Sometimes we have a guest artist that comes in for performance, for a workshop, and then is gone, for a master class, and then gone. Well, it used to be that when we do something like that, we just simply do an honorarium. These days, no, we cannot do that. We have to hire. Even if somebody comes in for a single day, for a single performance from out of town, we have to take them through the hiring process. They have to apply, they have to do an online application with their cover letter, resume attached to the application. Then we have to go through some system processes that we have that then signals our human resources department that they can move their status to ready to hire. Then once they're ready to hire, they have to go in and they have to do hiring paperwork, which also includes fingerprinting and a background check.
Wow.
And you can imagine all of that for somebody who's going to come in here, perform at one time. So I'm not kidding when I say that there are some bureaucratic challenges.
Through the process, I think a big challenge is finding characters, because every show is a different character, just like in film. You know, every role you step into is a different role, and so finding the balance of showing yourself through that, but letting the character be seen too is a big challenge, I think, through the rehearsal process. Memorizing lines is always a hard thing, because you can do it on your own as much as you want, but until you're in front of another person and on stage having to not only memorize your lines but be in character, it's a whole new world. So memorizing your lines is really not enough. You have to go through and kind of find your character and find who you are and all of that. I think it's different for each person. I don't think anything is really a set way of how people do things, but people have, similar ways to memorize things or go about doing things and finding their character. So I think it's a very similar process, but each person kind of has their own little special thing that they do.
Well, finances are always a challenge, right? And in a sense, we try and make our money go as far as possible. We try and keep stock material, so that we're constantly using the materials again and again. Some of the flats that we have are flats that were here before I came to this school, right? Some of these flats may be older than you are. And same thing with platforms too. So we keep on using those platforms and try not to destroy them in a sense. And there's plywood comes in a standard 4x8 sheet. And so we have a lot of standard 4x8 platforms, right? Some standard 4x4 platforms as well, or 2x8, or those kind of dimensions, using usually even numbers. But we don't destroy them because we can use them again and again and again, and that makes our money go further as well. But we do have a limited budget, and the budget in the arts generally is often shortchanged. No. We know ahead of time what our season is. We pick our season a year ahead of time, or thereabouts. So we're considering the season for next year now, even though we're in the middle of our season, our current season. And so with that in mind, we try and balance our season, knowing that, well, this will be this kind of challenge, and that will be that kind of challenge, right? And so that we don't burn ourselves out or use up our resources before we come to the end.
I think what I love the most about the stage is basically that you can feed off of the energy from the audience, and every night it's it's something different always, no matter that you have the script to follow and all these lines, like something new happens each night. The audience response is different, so you kind of tweak the way you act. But I would definitely consider delving into film and TV as well, because it's something new, and as an artist, it's always good to try new things and experience that side of it, because it's still acting. It's only it's just different. So I would love to delve into that at some point. So I would say yes if somebody came up to me. Like, I wouldn't be like, it's always good to try new things, so I would definitely say yes. The thing is, I think like this snobbishness per se kind of stems from the fact that many people can become TV and film actors without like training, and for the stage you kind of do have to train, and everybody's looking at your resume and what you have done and who you have taken classes with, and it's just it's you know, that training. And I think that's why maybe some theater people feel superior, but I don't think it's right at all. Like, talent is talent, acting is acting. Like, whether it's on the stage or it's in front of a camera, that's, you know, it's still the same job. It's only in a different place. It's a different way, but it's still acting.
My name is Joe Colangelo, and I'm a temporary full-time professor of communication. I'm not actually in the theater department, believe it or not, although theater and communication are under one large umbrella, fine arts, and occasionally I get asked to direct. As far as challenges are concerned, the big challenge here at Seminole State, I think, is the balance. You have to strike a balance between the quality of the educational experience that you're trying to give your students and the quality of the production itself. There's just so far you can push some people. Remember that it's always it's an amateur volunteer type of thing, so you don't really have a lot of leverage as far as, you know, why weren't you at rehearsal yesterday, that kind of thing. And so there is a challenge in finding the right level, maintaining the fun in it, but also having serious work. I mean, one of the reasons that Nonsense was as good as it was I challenged those girls at the very beginning of rehearsal to maintain a degree of professionalism and to get the job done, because we were looking at a very short rehearsal period and a very difficult job, a very difficult show to do in that amount of time, especially with amateurs.
Okay, so I started in 6th grade. My mom made me audition for a musical, and it was Tom Sawyer. And I didn't want to audition, and I was very terrified. And I still have the clip from like the first line that I had in that show. But I was just terrified, and I didn't understand. But there was just something about it, and I thought, this is all right, I'll try it again. And then I started doing more and more, and then I was like in high school when I really got more involved with it, I guess. There's something about live theater in specific, which is the whole idea that it's a very interactive process. So on one token, I get to be really creative and artistic and express feelings, but on another note, it's a big collaboration with the audience and with everybody else. And also something else that I love about it is just, it's hard sometimes to be yourself. Like, it's hard to be Molly, it's hard to be me. And if you choose one specific path, like I'm going to be a doctor or a lawyer, not saying that there's anything wrong with those, because those are very noble professions. But it's like, if you go into theater, you get to be everything, and you get to do everything, and you get to experience everything, and you get to live all of these different lives, and you get to almost bring characters to lives and tell stories. And that's just so important, the concept of storytelling, because that's something that we've had for so many generations and years. Cavemen drew pictures on walls, and we're here, and it's the same thing, and it's so important because people hide from who they are. I hide from who I am. Sometimes people hide from the truth, and that's what theater does, is it brings all the truth to the stage and to an audience, and it makes it available in a form that's more comfortable for people. And so, I mean, passion, the definition, I guess, is a strong feeling. And I would definitely say I have strong feelings for this because I can't picture doing anything else. I'm Molly, and my major is theater here at Seminole State.
Hopefully, you understand all the work involved in producing a play. Make sure you support the performing arts in the future. For show creativity, I'm Tracy. Thanks for watching.
He's leaving. Who is he at all?
The wonder of the Western world, and there isn't a half-orc doesn't fall unlucky to his hands today.
Look at this, they're pressing him now. It's too soon to say, Jimmy Barrett.